Hello, my name is Roger Buskill, and I'll be your instructor in the project management class. This is an online class for the spring of 2016. Okay, so let's get started on our Blackboard site here. What I'm going to do is kind of go through all of the all of the elements of the website here of our Blackboard site, and explain a little bit about them. The very first one is just the faculty information, a little bit about me. You can take a look at that. But let's move on to the syllabus. Two files are in here. The syllabus itself, I'm not going to open that up. You can go ahead and download that and read it at your leisure. But you should go ahead and take a look at that because everything about the class is in the syllabus. One of the main documents that you'll be looking at is the schedule. So let's go ahead and download the schedule. The first thing you'll see at the top is the university schedule itself, listing all of the pertinent dates. And then right below that are major assignment due dates for our class. And I'm going to go through all of the assignments that you'll be graded on later, but that is a snapshot of when they are due. Um, all of the weeks are listed by week and date and the activities. This one is just the pre-course work, and that's the MBTI. I will have already sent you a link to that with an announcement. This is going to be repeated. But then the very first class starts on January 6th, and I do manage this class from Wednesday to Wednesday. So typically there'll be the homework involved, and then I'll usually have pertinent information about whatever project management element that we are working on that week. There might be one or two. So each one of the class weeks, you'll have homework, of course. You'll have items due. You'll have course elements or project elements to study, videos to look at. So all of this is listed in the schedule with the proper due dates. Okay, so let's go back to the Blackboard site, and let's move on to there's a documents folder. One of the things you'll be doing this semester is working as a project team on a mock project. So let's take a look at the criteria for that. Let's zoom that a little bit. Get it to where we can see it just a little better. There we go. Like I say, you'll have a project that you'll be working on in a project team, and we'll review that in just a second here. But this document gives this team project assignment information. Of course, you'll need to read through that. The scenario of the project. But the one thing that I wanted to look at, there's the instructions, of course. First of all, the due dates for these different project elements. And the first one is not due until January 20th, and that'll give you time to get together with your teams and get used to each other, your communication styles and so forth, and go through that if you have been involved with the storming, norming, performing, and norming of team development. It gives you a chance to go through that forming part and getting into the storming part so that you can come together as a team. So you'll notice the team contract and SWOT is due on January 27th. So every one of the items for your group, your project team project are listed right here with their due dates. But also I went ahead and put everyone together in a team. So in other words, I've got this table listed by team number. So this is team 1. These are the people that are on team 1. So if we look let's say we'll look at Amber Nichols' responsibilities. She's responsible for the contents of the main document, the team contract, and the risk assessment. So what that means is Amber will take the lead on those 3 project elements, and then do a first pass on those. And then every one of the team will then collaborate to make that the best document or the best project element that you can for your team. So there's a lot of collaboration within the teams. And there'll be a couple of ways that you'll be able to collaborate on these different project elements. You do have a group site, and then we will be using Collaborate this session also, and I'll be talking about those later. So this is there again. This is Team 2, Team 3, 4, and 5. If you don't find yourself on one of these teams, email me right away, because sometimes if we've joined the class or the course late, you might not be in a team, and I will readjust and put you in a team. Okay, so let's go back to the website, go back to the documents, and go to the discussion question assignment. The way I handle this is you are responsible for one discussion question for the semester. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. Your discussion question answer, of course, it'll be taken from the book, will be worth 10 points. And we'll cover the first 5 chapters of the book. So there will be 5 different discussion boards, one for each one of those chapters. So if you be easier to explain this as we go down, so you can look at the rationale and the structure of your answer and so forth. But what you will do is you're going to answer a question, and it'll be defined by this chart here. So in other words, for chapter 1, we're going to use, there are 4 questions that we will answer. Well, Amanda here is going to be, of course, answering question 2A in chapter 1, and it is due January 11th, along with the rest of the questions for chapter 1. But what this means is Amber is only responsible for the first part of question 2. You'll notice when you look at the end of chapter questions that there's a lot of them will be in multi-parts. So if there is an A or a B beside the answer, or beside what you're listed for here, then you're only responsible for the first part. Or if there's a B there, such as right here, you're responsible for the second part, and so forth. So this is the chapter, and we'll have 4 questions. These are the people that will be answering those questions, and they'll put it on the discussion board for chapter 1 by January 11th. The rest of this chart follows suit for all of the different chapters with their due dates. There again, if you don't see your name on here, email me right away, and I'll put you in for a discussion question answer. So of course you want to read through this because it does give the criteria for the question, and I mentioned that you would be the question is worth 10 points, but because we have 5 chapters, you're required to make at least 1 comment per chapter discussion board on another student's post. So that gives you the other 5 points then for the entire assignment. Okay, so let's go back to our site here. So we've covered the items that are in the documents. That is the homework assessment here, and you can take a look at that later. That lists the requirements and the criteria for a personal project, which will be your homework assessment. Okay, so let's move into the resources and materials folder. Number of different items here. This first one is the project templates. Like I've mentioned, you'll have a group project that you'll be on a virtual project team, and there'll be a number of project elements that you'll be creating. But prior to that, you'll have studied that particular project element in the book, and you will have looked at a series of videos that I have that we'll look at later that explains my take then on those particular project elements. So after studying those, and then you would use a template And like I said, you'll know what project element that you're responsible for by looking at that project chart or project document that we just looked at. So let's say if you're responsible for the team contract, you will simply download the team contract. Okay, let's get it to where we can see it a little better. And you'll fill in the pertinent information. In other words, your project name, the team members, and then the name, and then the it used to require a signature here, but just put a date there. That will be fine. The main thing I'm looking for here is as a code of conduct, participation, how you're going to communicate, problem solving, and so forth. So whoever's responsible for the contract would fill in this information. Of course, you'll have had a chance to read about that and look at the video. So prior to the due date, you'll have a team meeting on Collaborate, and you will discuss making sure that everything is listed properly and everybody can give their feedback. So whoever's responsible in this case for the contract will take the lead on that for that particular week's meeting. And there might be one or two project elements, usually just one for a 16-week course like we have now. So that's how that procedure works. So if we go back to resources and materials, in the project templates, I've downloaded all of the project templates that you will need for our course. There's a lot more of those that the author has created. And if you wanted to unzip this file, it lists all of those templates. So I mentioned that from the schedule that I'll give a bit of information, more background information maybe on that project element for that week and other things. But what you will do is view a video on YouTube according to what's due for that week. So in other words, I have a video on the SWOT analysis. So you would view, everyone would view the video, but especially the person that's responsible for that project element. And then, of course, study the material from the book. So this will give you the background that you need in order to create your SWOT analysis. So all of the different items that we have, project elements that we have, there is a video for on YouTube, and that corresponds to the schedule that we have published, that I've looked at already. You will be writing a cold paper, so I have some information about some of the cold style of learning, and you might or might not have seen this video yet. It explains the rationale behind the cold learning cycle as it deals with our program. MBTI information, that's Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. If you haven't been exposed to it yet, this is simply a personality profiling instrument that gives you a good indication of the characteristics of your personality, and it's simply a self-reporting type of instrument. So you'll need that for your project team information, the main document, and that's actually an assignment that's worth 1 point on a discussion board. This particular file is a final project demo file from another student, and it shows an entire project from a previous project team that shows the quality and depth of the project elements, and you can take a look at that to get an idea on the quality and depth of each one of the project elements. Obviously, you can't copy that, but it does give you a good indication of what a quality project was that in which a team got an A on. One of the things you need to do is, as an assignment, is to create a brief bio. Part of that assignment is to upload a picture. Well, I don't want that picture skewed. It doesn't need to be squashed or elongated. So it needs to have the same what's called aspect ratio. So this is simply a little video that shows you how to crop, resize, and save a picture in PowerPoint. You can actually do that just using the graphic element tool that's built into PowerPoint. In this particular area here, we used to use Tegrity for these, but I've switched over and used YouTube videos. But as you look at the video, so say the SWOT video, what you'll see is this is the first thing that you'll see in the SWOT video. And then my narration of that slide is right here. So there's a couple of ways that you can view the same information, either through the video that's on YouTube, or you can come over here, read the slide, look at the slide, and read the voiceover from that video. A couple of ways of looking at that same information. So that is what is in the Integrity Session Companion files. Okay, so this next one, let's go back to the resources and materials then. That's about everything that we need, I believe, from there. You don't need to read. Safe Assignment is a little bit different now than it was. There is a business case financial spreadsheet if you wanted to take a look at a sample there. These cognitive verbs, that has to do with the cold learning cycle. So that's everything that's in the resources and materials folder. This next one, learner engagement. So everything, I've briefly introduced some of these items here, but everything that you will be graded on this semester is an assignment here in this learner engagement folder. In other words, by January 6th, you will have taken the MBTI personality instrument, and this is the link for it, or actually you probably have to copy and paste that into a browser, and then go through the instrument, and it'll give you a 4-digit code, which you will then simply put into that discussion board. Similar for the personal bio, this is the criteria for it. It's due January 13th, so it gives the instructions there. So you do have a writing assignment, and what I recommend here is it can be on anything on project management, but your topic should be or could be, maybe look back at the project elements, one of the ones that you are responsible for, and maybe do the research on that. And so you would write. So if you're responsible for the SWOT, you might research the SWOT and write your paper on that. And that is APA format. So that means you would need a title page, basically a 1-inch margin, 12-point Times New Roman, and then a reference page. And obviously we don't want any sentence structure mistakes, no misspelled words, and APA formatted. And when I say uploaded to Safe Assign, you don't really have to worry about that anymore because I have created it already as a Safe Assign document. It's logging into LiveText. That kind of corresponds with the writing assignment. What I want you to do is, with LiveText, it is a requirement of this degree program. And if this is your first class, you might or might not have purchased LiveText yet. But most of you should have already purchased it because you would have needed that in the LFH 300. But just to assure that you can upload a document to LiveText, I've created an assignment for it worth 1 point. So what you would do then is simply upload this writing assignment to LiveText in an assignment that's being created for that. So you don't upload anything here. You simply upload it to LiveText, and then I will monitor that the LiveText area for this course and to see that you have uploaded it. Then I will manually enter a grade for that. The same thing for these two right here, the MBTI and the personal bio. You don't upload anything here. You upload those to the discussion board. Of course, you would upload it to the writing assignment. This is your project team semester project. It's 25 points, so that it's a biggie, but it does list the criteria again for the project. These are some what some of the previous class groups have topics that they've created for their particular project. So it lists a few there. There again, you don't upload anything here. You will upload it to a file uploading tool that's within your group, and we'll take a look at that in just a second. This is the discussion questions. I mentioned you have one discussion question for the entire semester. What you would do is create that in a Word document, go through and answer the question, and upload it as a Word document right here, and you'll get up to 10 points. but then you should copy and paste the text of that into the actual discussion board for that particular chapter that we are covering for that week. So 2 places to upload it. Upload it here as a Word document. That way it goes through SafeAssign, and then copy the text of it into the discussion board for that week. So there again, you don't upload, you do upload your discussion question answer here, the one that you've been assigned, and then also in the discussion board as text. This is your reflection paper I talked about. 15 points. This is what you should write about the experiences of this class for this semester. A lot of the things that you can talk about, your experiences as you go through this, the process of the team development, what you might have learned from some of the project elements, the experience of actually putting this all together virtually, a lot of things that you could write about this semester. But it should be on the experiences of the class for this semester. There again, due March 23rd. These are those 5 comments that I mentioned. So what you'll have is you'll have at least one comment from another student's paper for chapter 1. You do not upload it here. You simply make the comment in the discussion board, and then I will read your comment and give you up to 1 point if it is a nice in-depth comment. Those comments should be something more than complimentary. They should be add something to the discussion. You could be complimentary. You could say something like, "I really like the way you answered this question. It's been my experience, however, that," and then you could kind of fill in that blank there. Or what I found was, or I agree with you in the most part, but what I have found is, so you can add something to the conversation from your experiences for those particular answers to questions. So aside from the homework assessment, this is everything that you're going to be graded on this semester, and it's all contained in the Learner Engagement folder. I mentioned project teams, so let's go there. When I go to the project team site, all 5 teams are listed. You're only going to be in one team, so you're going to have just your team listed here. And obviously, I put myself in all the teams so that I can monitor the team activity and look at the different files that you've uploaded, because that's how I will grade your different project elements. So let's look at the first team, Team 1. So this does list the members of Team 1. What you'll have, you've got a number of different group tools. The main ones that you will be using are, of course, the file exchange. So let's say that you have been responsible, say, for the SWOT. You would upload the SWOT prior to your team meeting for that week, which would be prior to when the SWOT is due. So typically, if the SWOT is due on a Wednesday, you should have that SWOT ready to go probably by the weekend, because usually the weekends is when you'll usually have your virtual team meetings. And so you leave it up to the different project teams to establish a communication protocol. But obviously you want to have in this case, the SWOT and the team identifying what a good SWOT is, responding to what has been produced, and have it on the file exchange by the due date. So what I will do then is, let's take a look here. So if you go to File Exchange, if you haven't used it before, you'll simply add a file, browse the computer for a particular file, select it, and then choose it, and it'll give you a chance it will then be uploaded. Of course, you want to give it a name also. So I'm going to cancel this for now. So we go back to Team 1. So the file exchange is where you collaborate on the different project elements, but I will also be able to view that file. So when that file is ready to go, you need to send me an email, please review, but it should be after everyone has taken a look at it and given their 2 cents worth for, in this case, maybe the SWOT. When the team is ready for me to look at it, that means the team has decided, yes, it's ready to go. And then I will look at it, make comments on it, improve it if need be, give you a chance to redo it. Because what I want you to do is pretty much be assured that you're going to get 25 points for your group project. So I won't allow I mean, I'll maybe review it a couple of times, but I will give you a chance to make that particular project element the best that it can be for your particular project. And whenever I say, yeah, it's good to go or it's okay, then you know that you have finished it, and you don't. Then you'll get the full value of it for your project. You do have a group discussion board. And the way these groups are laid out, you can think of this as a mini Blackboard, your own personal Blackboard. So right now, if we look into Team 1 forum, there are no threads. And so this is what you will do. Somebody needs to take the initiative and maybe put in that first thread or send out that first email to get everything going. So this is one way of collaborating. But also, the first thing you'll probably do is somebody needs to send that first email out to the group. So let's get together on the discussion, or take a look at my entry on the discussion board. The way that works is we'll just simply invert the selection, or you could do a select all, move it over to the selected items. In the subject box, if you will do me a favor and type in ELFH 341-50 and then your subject, and because when you then send it to as an email, it goes to a folder that I have designed, that I have created for your particular group. So in other words, put in the class number, and if you will, your group number. So ELFH, you would type in ELFH 540. Oh, wrong class. 341-50, group 1 or team 1, or whatever you want to do there. That identifies that as the team number, which puts it in a team folder or a email folder that I have, and this designates that it is group 1, if I spell it correctly. So you could put group 1 or team 1. That way I can go directly to your particular group then to see what's going on. So that's how the email system should work. So let's go ahead and cancel that. So the file exchange, the group discussion board, and the email are the main ones that you'll be using. You do not have to have a group blog or a journal or a task. Obviously you can use those if you want to, but it's not part of the grade. It's not something that I would be looking at. So that's how the project teams work. So there again, if you do not find yourself, there is no team listed for you, then you need to send me an email so that I can make sure that I can get you in a team. Okay, so you will be using a tool called Collaborate that's built into Blackboard. It is not quite ready to go yet, but I will have an instructional video on how to use Collaborate, and it should be out within a few days. So really, that's just about it for using our Blackboard. Reviewed some of the requirements, some of the assignments, a little bit about how the schedule works. So one of the main things you want to do is start to get together as a group or as a project team, getting to know each other, and you can do that through your own group site through the email. You should start setting up a time that's conducive for everyone to meet virtually, which is what you'll be doing on Collaborate. If you have a particular way of meeting virtually, say from your work using WebEx or another one it would be okay for you to use, you can use that one also. But Collaborate is the one that I will be able to monitor. And if you want to invite me to that first Collaborate session or WebEx session, if my schedule permits, I'll be glad to try to join at least for that first one. Okay, so that's it for now then. I'll be, like I say, you'll be getting announcements weekly, and I'll talk to you later.